Hey, Lighthouse Community Church, this is Pastor Kevin. This last Sunday, October 20th, I made an announcement to the church about our church finances. And I know that not everybody was able to be there, there were activities going on, things like that. So I just want to give this message to everyone in our church. And by talking about finances and giving and tithing, I'm not trying to sound the alarm or make you panic. But I just want to be honest and truthful with kind of where we're at right now as a church. And just being truthful, honest, it's not looking great. Our giving, our tithing, the offering that we take, usually on a Sunday morning, it's been much lower than we expected. We start our budget in July, and so we're into our fourth month now, and to bring enough money in each week to make our budget by the end of the fiscal year in June, we need a certain amount each week. And already we are about $18,000 behind that. And if that trend kind of keeps up until June, we could be over $63,000 short of where we need our budget to be. Now, if you're not a numbers person, or that all just kind of flew over your head, what does that mean? The money you give at church, when the basket is passed or the boxes are online, that goes toward our ministries. It goes toward our building, utilities, lights, heat, AC. It goes toward staff salaries like myself. It goes toward missions here locally, globally. And if we don't have enough, we may have to pull back on some ministries in the near future. We may have to cut back on some things like global missions, outreach events, kids ministry. We're coming up to holiday seasons, and we've done, this will be our 7th year of the Christmas store. Or at the very least, this will cut into our savings, which is pretty close to happening right now. Now, that's the hard news. I don't always like talking about from the pulpit and money. But here's the exciting thing. I've always felt this way about Lighthouse, that there is so much potential for ministry, from our location to the people here to what God can do. And so if we had, consistent, steady giving here at Lighthouse, here's what we could do. I dreamed a little bit with our staff. What could we do if we had more than enough? We talked about scholarships for kids and students, whether that be for our regular ministries, but for summer camp, Hidden Acres. My kids have gone to Hidden Acres and just really benefited from that. Our building is getting older, and we need some updates and things to our building. So yeah, our AC units, sound system, more things that could break down. We've talked about a labyrinth. A number of our women's ministry, people in the book club have had this idea for a while now to build a labyrinth on back property. Or I know a number of you have been going to concerts. It'd be great to do a concert or multiple concerts here at Lighthouse. We are hindered right now in our building type and size by not enough space for classrooms. If we wanted to do something on a Wednesday night for kids and teenagers and adults, we just don't have enough space. And so maybe it's additional classrooms or a building or things like that. We made a decision back in the spring to not rehire Karen Quinn's position, kind of a more secretary, admin person. We've been doing great with volunteers, but to rehire that position in the future. We've had some really interesting talks lately too, and praying through maybe having a preschool here on the South Side, here at Lighthouse. Other programs like Sober Recovery or Grief Share. And I'm sure you've had ideas too of like things we would love to do, but we're just kind of tight with our budget right now. So this is my challenge to you, Lighthouse. One, I would challenge you to do a budget at home. My wife and I, we do a budget. We have a Excel spreadsheet that we put our things in, and we kind of say this is how much we want to give toward groceries and mortgage and church. And sometimes we're not always good at doing that. So I need work on that too. I think I told you guys as I was looking through my budget the other day, I found that the one thing that we gave more to than the church was our mortgage. And so do a budget. Think about, pray about how much do you give toward church? And consider tithing. Over the last year, only about 10% of our church, as far as we can tell, have been truly tithing, giving 10% or more. And so if you don't give any right now, and I know some things are really tight, groceries, gas, all that. So I'm asking you to pray. If you give none right now, could you give some? If you already give some right now, could you give more? And the last challenge too is, this has been so helpful for my family. We have set up an online recurring giving. Sometimes you can do that through your own bank or different accounts you might have, or just at our website, alhousechurch.com. You can give recurring online. Could be a text to give, could be just setting that up recurring, but I would love for our church to get on that recurring and to switch from not doing credit card giving, because that has a fee attached to it, but doing more online from your bank account giving. So those are my challenges. So in the beginning, I'm not trying to cause a panic or think we're in dire straits here. Our biggest thing is that I want you to pray. Pray for God to be faithful as He has always been. We've had money issues in the past, and we're not going to panic. We're not going to do something crazy. We're going to pray. We're going to pray that God would provide as He has always done. And I trust that He will see us through this. He will provide for our needs. And I'm excited to see how He will do that. I love you guys. So joyfully happy to be your pastor. And if you have questions, you have thoughts, ideas about all this, please contact me. Come talk to me. I love doing coffee, lunch, sitting down with anybody in our church. So, love you guys, and I'll see you on Sunday.